How you feel today is not how you have to feel tomorrow. That's Mikel Louise right there. So it's late, and tomorrow is November the 1st, and I'm super, super excited for the new month. Today was supposed to be the last day of my fast, but it feels so good. I am expecting so much, and I am so excited. Um, and I still got some questions on the table, so I'm extending it. So I'm super excited on a whole bunch of different levels, but I'm also tapped out. I'm ready to go to bed. But I did want to have this moment because I was thinking about how intentional you have to be with your thoughts and your actions and your moods and your presence, whom you share space with, whom you allow to share space with you, and why, right? So today was a crazy day. I am not a Halloween fan. Anybody who knows me knows that, but a lot of y'all don't know me. I'm not the biggest Halloween fan. I don't like ghosts and ghouls and goblins. I don't like blood. I don't like guts. I don't like brains. I don't like eyeballs popping out. I don't like spaghetti type things that you put your hand in. You gotta try to feel it, and you're supposed to feel like something. I don't like any of those things. Um, and that's what Halloween is, right? And I also, right, the best way I can explain it is in my mind, in my experience, Halloween is a day where people embrace and embody whatever it was they wanted to be all year anyway, right? I'm me all year. I am the same person every single day. It's crazy, yo, but it is. It's who I am. I can only be me. But some people are not, and that one persona that they have that they've been hiding or that they don't want to fully admit to, or whatever the case may be, they let that stuff out on October 31st. You hear me? And that's all good in most scenarios until you just run into someone who just, that persona is just out there, right? In which case, I don't like that concept. I don't like that. And yes, few and far between. It's an outlier situation, but there are still outliers. So I've just never been a fan. But growing up in Catholic school, it was a huge thing. Halloween was huge. The whole trick or treating through the parish, it was so fun. It was so lit. The village concept is so real. And then we would be out the next day, so it was cool, right? And my mom also loved Halloween. She loved Halloween, but she liked the vampire, right? Like some of my earliest memories are her with these teeth and going around the house and the white makeup and just scaring the bejeebs out of me. I was like 3 or 4 years old, y'all. So she loved Halloween, so she would always take us trick or treating. And then when our children came, we would all go trick or treating together. Then when my mother passed away in 2012, I just was not big on it any longer. I think I took my boys once. I took the big boys, Lou and Jabril, one time, and that's because we had just moved over to our new place. And I think we walked a couple blocks, and then Lou felt some type of way, and I was like, "Yeah, I ain't feeling great either," and we went home. And so it's just not been my type of hype. Noah has never been. Rich Noah, 7 years old, he had never been trick or treating. And so this was the year. My baby wants to go trick or treating so bad, probably a lot of hype at his school, just all the things. He realized it was like free candy, like really got the grasp of the fact that folks is just giving out candy. And it just wasn't going to happen. I could not deny him another year. I felt like if I did, I was going to end up on the news about it. So I said, okay, we're going to think about how to process it. And anybody who knows Rich Noah knows that he loves a good costume, right? So he got this Blue Beetle costume. I ordered it for him a couple weeks ago. He wore it that weekend to a birthday party at a trampoline park. And then he ended up being able to wear it again for a trunk or treat. So now this is opportunity to shine. He wears it to school. Everything is awesome. Well, I already woke up in a tizzy because it's Halloween. I'm not a Halloween fan. And then, total transparency, I am feeling more undervalued right now in many arenas than I ever have in my life, right? I feel undervalued in my career. I feel undervalued in the relationship that I really want to have, and it just ain't happening. So it ain't nothing to talk about there. I feel undervalued in my finances because I know I'm worth way more than I'm getting paid for what I'm doing that's not even panning out to be what I want to do, which is serve, and I can't serve because they've not set the system up to serve the kids. So I just feel undervalued on many different levels, and it was a rough day for me. But I knew Rich Noah wanted to do his thing, right? So as a parent, what do? We'll take a hit, we'll sacrifice. And one of his friends at school, one of the ones that I think is a genuinely, they have a kindred type of thought process. This young man's mother invited us to their block or whatever for whatever Halloween festivities. And I didn't really want to go. With everything in me, I want to say no. There was no reason why I would say yes in any circumstance ever. Before, these were strangers. It's Halloween night. Those two things already don't go together for me. It was late. It was super cold today. Yep. My son was out of town, right? So now none of my muscle was gonna be with me. All the things, but I said yes anyway. I prayed on it. I had asked Father, and it was just it was presenting as something that was something I should go ahead and do. It wasn't that I thought it was bad. I just wasn't interested, right? So in the car on the way, Noah and I were praying, and I got to the point of the prayer where I was explaining to Father, having a dialogue with Father about, even though it had been a really rough day so far, the day could get better. The day wasn't over, so it could get better. And I'm like, yeah, like I still got day. It's not just brand new mercies every morning. It's brand new mercies every day. There's still day left. There's brand new mercies. I don't have to be stuck in this funk. I don't have to be stuck in this attitude. I can go have a lot of fun. If I determine, I will, right? And then I asked Noah, and I said, yeah, we can still have a great day, can't we? He said no. I was like, yeah. He said yes. I said, okay, so then you're on board? He said, yeah. I was like, well, something great's going to happen to me today. He's like, something great's going to happen to me today. I'm like, it's going to be a good day. He said, it's going to be a good day. Now, those are typically our early morning mantras. We say that on our car rides. I make them repeat to me, something great is going to happen to me today. Something great is going to happen to me today. Because it is, no doubt. And I always want them to be cognizant of it when it happens, like I want to be cognizant myself. And prayed was pretty specific. Asked Father that I find somebody that I could talk to. I had fun. I had asked at one point during the day, I mentioned a fire pit, some s'mores. And once you know it, I went over this house and beautiful neighborhood, beautiful family, beautiful concept behind. It wasn't ghosts and goblins and ghouls and goons. It's a village. It was, hey, there's something that the children could enjoy. Let's put something together for them that'll give them a night of freedom, a night of laugh, a night of joy, a night of light, a night of lightness, a night of love, a night of belonging. Just a night. It's a regular night for some people. It's not a regular night for some of us, but a night where they feel acknowledged and free and able to be a kid and just have fun. And there was a little parade. They paraded and then they trick-or-treated, and it was so much fun for them. It was so much fun for me. How about it? And I realized that had I not made the intention, had I not determined that the night was going to get better and I was going to have fun, I likely wouldn't have. Wouldn't really have been much to talk about. So I just want to say tonight, before I go to sleep, because that's what's about to happen to me, for me, it really doesn't matter how anything looks. Because a lot of times things don't look how we want them to look, period. And that's okay. But you don't have to stay stuck there. You don't have to stay there. You just don't. You make the determination that you're going to make a step forward. You determine what that step looks like. My step forward was going ahead and going, and even further into it, it was determining that I could indeed still have a great day, even though it was 5:30 in the evening. Things don't always look like we want them to look, and that is indeed okay. We just have to make sure that as we go along, we are mindfully setting ourselves to the highest regard, to the highest thought process. I told you my thought process is I am believing and accepting and having faith in the absolute best, that God is going to do the absolute best for me and my children, me and my family. God's going to blow my mind. God is about to blow my mind. He's about to blow yours too. But that's what I choose to believe. That is the intention. That is where we're going with it. It ain't nothing else to talk about. But you have to be intentional about that stuff, though. You do. You have to make sure that is your determination. And that when your mind tries to say different things, you take it and you take every thought captive. You take those thoughts. There was a time when I used to have to shake my head to get the thoughts out, right? Back when I'd be thinking about something my children's father did and, just how bad I was hurt. And I'd have to shake my head to get the thought out. And I'm sure I look crazy to a whole bunch of people. And there was a point in my life when it would have really mattered to me if I looked crazy. And it was during that time period, right? But I still had to do it. I had to do it because I had to get the thoughts out. And I couldn't they wouldn't dissipate. They weren't just exiting stage left on their own. I had to forcefully remove them. I had to evict them from my space. So, that's it. That's it. That's all. God has been better than good to me. And my prayer is that He is better than good to you. I already know He is, but I just want you to realize that He is. So then that's the prayer. My prayer is that you have a revelation of just how good God is to you, that you understand just how favored you are, just how loved you are, just how worthy He believes you to be, and that you believe Him when He talks to you. God has been an amazing, amazing, amazing example. He has set the example of who we are and how we are to be, and most of us are living that example to the best of our ability. Don't let them tell you because you're doing something that they wouldn't do themselves that you're not the righteousness of Christ. Don't let them tell you that. Don't let your own self tell you you're not. Don't let them tell you you're not worthy. Don't let yourself trick you out of any of your inheritance. You tell yourself a whole bunch of things. Yes. But God said that we are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. We're the lender and not the borrower. The lender, not the borrower. Yes. He gave us a spirit of power, love, and a strong mind, not fear. Not fear. We don't have to be fearful. It's one of those things that we can totally cast aside with all the rest of the vanities. Fear is useless. It's absolutely nothing. Solomon would say it's all vanity. Fear is absolutely nothing. There's no use for fear at all. But so many of us, that's our guiding factor. It's what guides us. It's what maneuvers us. It's what moves us through the hallways of life, the hallways of the mansions of life. That reminds me, because I said a word wrong just a few minutes ago. Noah, when he got to the home where I was stationed at. Excuse me. Forgive me. When he got there, he told me earlier, he said, I was like, well, it's trick-or-treating, you got a trick. Because when we were little, we used to have to tell a joke or something. And he was like, a joke? And I'm like, yeah. He said, I don't know a joke. I'm like, yeah, I don't know any kid-approved ones. I can't help you you, big dog. But I was trying to think of something and I thought he could say, because boy, Big Lou has bombed out plenty of times because he's been trying to tell the jokes that he got from his auntie and I. And specifically one from his auntie got him booed off stage at Northwest Christian Academy. Interestingly enough. But anyway, I have a kid-friendly joke. So then Noah bought upon himself. He said, I know we can do a riddle. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got a great riddle. He was like, no, I think I'm going to use my own. Now, how you going to decline my offer to help? I'm not sure, but okay, what you got? And he said, imagine you're in a box. Okay, so he had his own riddle. We're going to stop there. So, no, we're going to say it. He said, imagine you're in a box full of trash. What's the first thing you would do to get out? And I vaguely remember him telling this joke before, but I didn't want to ruin the punchline for him. I wanted to know if he knew what he would do to get out. And I said, dig out the trash real fast. And he said, no. Stop imagining. And I thought that's how the little joke went. I was like, that's really, really good. That's going to be perfect, right? So we sitting here. I'm sitting there with the lady. No, I'm sitting here with the guy. The guy was he was very funny. He was a troll. Excuse me. First class troll. His name was Jack Sharp. Funny guy, super smart. I expect to hear and see more from him soon. Super, super sharp. Anyway, my guy was sitting out there trolling kids, and you know that's my thing. Trolling kids is my thing. It's my pleasure, okay? And so I'm like, dang, because he was doing riddles with them. He was making them answer his riddles to get candy, and I thought that was genius. Okay, here we go. And then he was like, saying stuff like, yeah, you don't have to get it right. I just want to see some effort. But I just want you to guess. And he was telling the parents, it's like, yeah, I want to see some effort, right? It was just funny. He was treating everybody the same. It was dope. He was a real dope soul. So anyway, this guy, my baby walks up to him and my baby says, imagine you're in a box full of trash. What's the first thing you would do to get out? And it was like a box full of trash. He's like, I don't know. And my son said, stop imaginating. It's just cute. Okay, that's my baby. That's my boy. Who my granny used to say, every crow thinks their crow is the blackest. And I got some black crows, baby. That's another thing. You know, I know this ain't a single mom talk, but hey, yo, I know some single mamas watch me. Yo, listen, black mamas, period. Black daddies, be proud of your babies. Brag on your babies. Your babies are a flex. Because not only did God bless you with them, and we all know every good gift, every perfect gift comes from the Lord above, from where there is no light or variation, or turning of variation, something. James 1:17, I think you can find that, because I might have got it wrong. Don't quote me, I'm going to quote me, but yeah, every good and perfect gift comes from the Lord. So God gave you your babies, and then he's also giving you the ability to do everything that you can, so they have everything that they need, whatever stage that is, whatever level that looks like. Wherever you guys are at, God has done more than enough. God has been bountiful. He has been abundant. He has blessed you. You have overflow. Your babies have overflow. So yeah, brag on them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, they babies do something, and you know, I remember when I was, you know, my children have always been to schools that are predominantly Caucasian or whatever. But even if they weren't, you know, put me up against a Caucasian mama any day, and we'll be sitting in the same space, and someone could come in and say something to her, you know, like, yeah, you know, Jimmy is doing great in science, and she could say something like, yeah, he's great in science, and have you ever heard him pull his flute, like he blows that horn like nobody's business, and she'll brag on her baby. And if somebody come up to me and say, you know, hey, Lou really, really is great getting his timetables, I was like, yeah, that's what's up. But you know what? You know, he he hasn't been really, he can't read that well, or just whatever. My baby reads well, but I would have to find something to take away from the accolades. And I think that's ingrained in us. I think that that is a trauma response that we could unpack collectively if we like, or privately message me. But yeah, I think that it's really, really good that you acknowledge all the dopeness that your children embody, and just acknowledge it and allow them to be as dope as they gon' be. Noah's super dope. Ooh, is super dope. Super dope. And I let them be exactly who they gonna be. And I just got their back in little bits and pockets because that's all they need. But they go forth, they spring forth. I am doing a new thing. It springs forth. Do you not perceive it? These babies we come in, we have, and they are springing forth. They are amazing. And they got some potential. They're ready to do some things. So we got to get it together so we can teach them the things. Anyway, this is long. I always say it's only going to be 5 minutes and then it ends up being longer. Peace be with you. The peace that surpasses all understanding. The peace that comes from knowing that God has given you the ability to think and create, to be more and to do more. And He's with you every step of the way, so there's no reason to get stuck anywhere. Even if it doesn't look like you want it to look, it may not look like it today, but get through today. Close the day out strong. Do everything you can do in today. Do everything that you can do to make today a winning day. Decide that it's a winning day and then go to sleep and try it again tomorrow. You can only lose if you quit, right? I want you to have a great night. Like, subscribe, all the things that they said you're supposed to say. Go ahead and say them for me real quick, or do them, because I'm telling you, I'm still the anti-technology. I just know that there are some things that I can say that may help someone, and if I can bless you, I will. Oh God, I thank you. Have a great night.